Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm Keshav, and welcome to the first episode of 2019. And today we're going to talk about goals and how to achieve them. Let's do this. Okay, so today's podcast is going to be goals and how do you achieve them goals. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about what I'm up to this year. So this podcast will also be sort of like a personal, what do you call that thing? Personal diary of what I'm about to do this year. So that is one. And two, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've learned over the past couple of years in trying to achieve goals and miserably failing in the process of doing so. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share some lessons that work for me. That's important here. Share some lessons that work for me because everybody's different and everybody's got to find their way of doing things. But there are some universal stuff that's out there that applies to most people. So maybe you're going to find one or two or three nuggets of wisdom that you're going to find helpful in the process of achieving your goals. So some of the goals that I've set for the New Year's are: one, why do I keep saying that thing? I went. So I've gone really, really simple this time. I didn't choose that many goals this year because I know I don't want 10, 14, 15 goals that I want to achieve this year. What I've learned over the past couple of years is that you just have to pick a couple of things, focus on them first, then move on to the next thing instead of trying to focus on everything at the same damn time, because it usually doesn't work that way, right? So that is one thing. So here are my goals, and they are usually, I think I have like 7 goals. Somebody's cooking right now, and they're cooker whistle is going on, and I think it's getting recorded in my podcast, which is weird. Maybe you cannot hear that, I don't know, but it's really throwing me off track. But hey, we live in the real world, so I need to get this podcast done, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So yeah, here's my goals for the year. So number 1 would be the primary focus of this year, which is my YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and focus all my energies on my YouTube channel and on the projects that I want to do, and actually make videos about the projects that I'm about to do. So because my YouTube channel is basically about me documenting my artistic journey, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, what I'm how I do those things, sharing and stuff. And that's what my YouTube channel is all about. So I've been testing for the past 6 or 7 weeks. Today is January 3rd. And I've been testing for the past 6 weeks on trying to upload on a weekly basis, trying to find a rhythm where I can upload on a weekly basis, because I've never uploaded on a weekly basis before. Because my content usually takes a lot of time to produce. It's not something like you just point the camera, shoot the damn thing, and you're done with it. My thing involves a lot of scripting, editing, and all those things. But I had to dial all those things down so that I can make content on a weekly basis, because that's important. Consistency is important, and I don't want to be going too perfectionist on all my stuff, and trying to waste my time trying to make this one quality video that nobody watches, which is weird. And I put a lot of time into making some videos and nobody watches them. So I thought it was rather I just need to dial back a bit, focus on other things as well at the same time, along with YouTube, and make some content on a consistent basis. So I did this thing called One Day Mondays, where I make a video every single Monday and post it on Wednesday. So that's what I've been doing, for the past 6 or 7 weeks. So that has been going well, and I feel really good about that. So that is my first goal for 2019, to upload a video every Wednesday of this year. And hopefully I won't miss any. We'll see. But I don't planning on miss any. I do plan on taking breaks, but I'll have videos already planned and uploaded and scheduled for publishing beforehand. If I ever go on breaks, I'll definitely be going on breaks. Definitely, that usually happens. So number one goal is to upload a video every Wednesday. That is being made on Monday. And number two goal is to restart my 642 Things to Draw series, which is going to go up every Monday. So Mondays and Wednesdays is going to be a video on this channel. And I'm going to leave Saturdays for other type of content like live stream or some other cool stuff that I make during the week, some sort of like a very planned, well-edited video, something like that. So, I plan on doing those things on Saturdays. So hopefully on most weeks, you'll have 2 videos every single week. And after that, you'll have sometimes 3 videos sometimes, for some weeks. So that is the plan for YouTube. Instead of me trying to, put on a goal like I am going to reach 1 million subscribers by the end of this year, instead of, choosing a goal like that, I chose some sort of a process-based goal, meaning I show up on these particular days with some work, and I make sure I put in my work, and hopefully, the results speak for themselves. And so that is a plan this year. And I'm going to be doing a lot of tutorials, which is new for me because I've never thought of doing tutorials on my channel. But I feel like people have subscribed to me because they want to learn to draw the way I draw things. So I want to share those things. I want to give people what they want. That is one of the biggest, biggest thing you can do to build a good quality community, to give people what they want, man. Like, not just force them with the stuff that you want. Maybe you can do that sometimes, but you just got to give them what they want. Give the people what they want. That's an important thing. So that's my YouTube goal. So number one would be, upload on Wednesdays and Mondays. Mondays is going to be 642 Things to Draw. Wednesdays is going to be my Monday videos, and I have the rest of the week to do other things. And that's the plan. And number two goal would be to make an animated short film. So that is a big thing for me because I love filmmaking, I love drawing, and I have to find ways to combine those two things together. So the animated short film, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to have a couple of stories in my mind, simple stories, like 3 to 4 minutes thing. But those things take a lot of time to make because like animation is hard. And I have allocated somewhere like some like 4 months or something. I think I'm planning on doing a series, something called the 100 days of animation. Try to make an animation within 100 days because that'll make for a good series. That'll probably make for a good series. But I'm not gonna make the mistake I did with 100 days of comics. Where I'm like shooting something and making the thing at the same damn time, which is very, very hard to do. So what I'm going to do is I have an intern, he's going to shoot stuff for me. Then what I'm going to do is once I'm done with the finished product, I will release all those videos, the subsequent weeks, and release my animation and stuff like that. So I'm going to do, things like that instead of trying to do everything at the same time. So make an animated short. That is one that is big for me. And number 3 would be to make a web series. So this is more like an animated stop motion real life web series because again, these 2 goals are there for me to to really explore my passion for filmmaking, my love for filmmaking. I really want to be a filmmaker, so I've been lately looking at the works of Miyazaki and his body of work really inspires me. So I want to build myself a body of work where it consists of short films and web series. Web series is usually like a 8-part web series. That's the plan. Maybe like a 7-part, I don't know, each 20 minutes. So that's going to be a lot of work. The thing is, regarding this goal, my only goal is to make the first episode this year. the first 20 minutes, because I need to take that thing up and shop it around for producers so that they can produce this thing, because you need some investment to make this web series a possibility. So I have investors at the moment ready to finance, but I also want to find good distributors, good YouTube channels, good people. Like, I heard in my country, India, I think Amazon Prime is looking for good quality Indian content, and I think this probably fits into that narrative. And maybe shop it around over there. Shopping it around is like a term where you take your product and throw it around for distributors and producers to see if they can buy it and produce it. That's what shopping around means. So that's my goal. And number 5 is number 5. No, it's number 4. I think it's number 4 is to start and finish drawing projects. Yes, my friend, I need to draw. I have a couple of focuses this year. 1 is YouTube, 2 is making films, 3 is starting and drawing projects. Starting and drawing projects and drawing them. So aka I have a couple of little projects that I want to start and finish this year, one of them being Inktober. So I want to finish last year's Inktober first. So I have 5 more drawings in that. I'll probably finish that. I'm planning on finishing that this to next week. So it'll be over by next week. So I just need to find the time to sit and draw those things. So yeah, finishing Inktober. So that is 1 that is big for me. And 2, stuff like, I have something called the Avatar project. More on that later. So you heard it here first on the podcast, people. You heard it here. It's an illustration series. It's an illustration project. And I'm doing something called, I want to do little comic strips. I started doing one yesterday, so I just made a comic strip yesterday. So I want to do stuff like that. I'm going to aim to do at least one illustration, one drawing a week, other than the 642 things to draw drawings that I do on a weekly basis. I want to do these things, and try to finish them. One drawing a week. Sometimes some drawings take more than a week, some like 2 weeks, especially the Avatar project, which is big. I'm not going to focus on too many drawing projects this year. I'm just going to keep it simple. Like I don't want to force myself with too many goals. I have left some room for myself this year to, explore other opportunities if they arise, because, you never know what happens. Tomorrow my YouTube channel blow up and get another 100,000 subscribers, then I might need to stop other things down and focus on YouTube a bit more. Stuff happens. You never know what happens, and you got to plan. So that's why I'm leaving a lot of room this year to give room for other opportunities if they arise. And so yeah, start and finish drawing projects. That means that's my way of staying on top of my drawing game. So that is 1. And my YouTube is going to allow me to do that, by the way. So YouTube is going to make me accountable to do that. And so number 5 would be to publish 1 or 2 drawing courses. Definitely 1, hopefully 2. That's the thing. 1 is going to be like a drawing fundamentals course. So it's going to be basically a really elaborate, detailed version of what I teach in my workshops. I just go over the basic fundamentals on my workshop, and what I want to do is take those things, apply it in the real world, and have people complete and finish little tiny projects that they can take away with them to show other people and tell that they've learned drawing, stuff like that. So I want to start and finish drawing projects. So that is a big thing. No. What am I'm confusing stuff. I just read the previous goal. I'm sorry. Start. No. I just want to publish a drawing course, and hopefully 1. Definitely 1. Hopefully 2. That's the plan here. To publish 2 drawing courses that really helps people, because I think I have a good knack for teaching, and I want to make use of that thing. And 7 would be to launch my shop, which I already did, but I want to put more products in them. So that means I'm just going to focus on 1 product, which is making stickers, because I like stickers. Stickers are tiny, they're fun. You can collect stickers. So I'm making a Spider-Man Miles Morales sticker right now as I'm recording this podcast, you know. So I'm going to make that sticker, and make more stickers, lots of stickers this year, because I like stickers. And the thing with stickers is that you can take those stickers and put it on other things, like a little card. Sometimes I also plan on making wallet cards, and also plan on making little jot books and notebooks. I'm also launching my sketchbook this year. That's another thing. Sketch collections, a collection of my sketches, that is happening at the back. And I'm also launching a sketchbook. Man, I think I'm doing a lot of things at the moment, but I'm doing them one thing at a time. So if I say them all together, it might sound like I'm doing a lot of stuff. It's highly impossible for me to execute those things, but I'm just doing 3 things per month. That's it. Like that's not, I'm not doing more stuff than that. Just 3 things, focusing on 3 things. So focusing on stickers, launching stickers, and those things can be turned into wallet cards, jot books, and notebooks, and stuff like that. Because I love stickers, I want to collect stickers, I want to make more stickers because I freaking love stickers. Hopefully pins, if I find a good manufacturer, pins, stickers, and these kind of wearable stuff. I want to do those things. On the personal front, in terms of my healthcare, what I want to do is I'm doing something called 52 weeks, 52 changes. So there's a guy called Leo Babauta. I think that's what his name is. So Leo Babauta is the author of the blog Zen Habits. And he has come up with a book called 52 Weeks, 52 Changes, meaning you make a tiny little change in your life every single week for the whole year. And I thought I'd probably try this because I've tried making changes in the past and none of them ever stick with me. And that's because usually these changes are too big. So what I'm doing is I'm just making these tiny little changes. So the first change I made this year, I started early actually. The first change I made this year was do a push-up every single morning. 1 push-up. Sounds stupid, right? So yeah, right now what I'm doing is I'm doing push-up, I'm doing a little bit of walking, I'm doing like a light stretching in the morning after I meditate. I already have established a habit of meditating for 10 to 12 minutes every morning, so that has been going good. And I'm doing a push-up. I'm also journaling. I'm reading a page of a good book every day. So the book I'm reading right now is called The Daily Stoic. It's basically a daily meditations book, meaning there's a page you read every day on that book. So there's a page for every day of the year in that book. So I'm reading that. And so yeah, I'm just focusing on making tiny little changes because that's all you can do, I guess. You can force big changes, but they never stick if you don't have the proper accountability set in place. And usually most people don't have that accountability set in place. So I would rather make tiny changes that are consistent and doable. And even he says like all these 52 changes won't stick with you. We'll probably take away 10 to 15 or 20 changes at most, at the end of the year. And that is good enough. That is way, 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 way better than most people, because most people don't even care about these things, right? And the second week change that I've made right now is to write down 3 things that I want to do every day. And oh god, I didn't write it down today. See, I forget. I need to probably write that down. I'll probably write that down today. And I think I'm almost done with my first thing. So I'm going to do my second thing. And this is my unplanned thing, recording this podcast. This usually never makes it in my to-do list. It's just like more of a spontaneous thing. So yeah. So make 52 weeks, 52 changes. No, 50. I make 52 changes in 52 weeks. So that is one. On the personal front, the previous goals were my professional front. And the second thing is I'm focusing on 3 big habits that I want to do on an everyday basis, which really keeps me healthy and sane, which is 1, to meditate in the morning. Meditate for 10 to 12 minutes every single day. I meditate for 12 minutes at the moment every day. So that is 1. 2 is to get to bed around 10 o'clock, which I badly missing the mark. I need to get to bed early, so that is definitely big. And 3 is to work out every single day. Do some sort of a workout, like go for a walk, go to the gym. So I go to the gym 6 days a week, and I have a trainer. He has me on a diet, so that's been going on for the past month or so. And yeah, man, I've been working out pretty damn consistently. Right now we've bumped it up to 6 days a week, and on the Sundays what I do is I'm trying to do some sort of a yoga or light walking or light cycling, to get some sort of a workout in, like for 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. And the third one on the personal front is to focus on reading more and on my mental health. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the personal front. Like I want to read more books and focus on my mental health, and the previous habits will help me achieve those goals. So those are my personal goals, and let's get on to the part on how you achieve the goals that you want to set for yourself. So I've always set goals, in the past years, some sort of like I make this big list of the things that I want to do, man. Those things are really nice at the start of the year, but usually one of them happens. One of the big stuff happens, and the other thing just falls apart. And for most people, none of them happen. And I've been that guy, hey, it sucks. But I have learned some things that may help you this year. And one of the problems is most people set big, audacious goals that are completely unrealistic. And it is important to have ambitious, big, audacious goal, but put it on a timeline. Say, I'm going to achieve those things in a year. It's like ludicrous. You never know what happens. And so what I like to tell you guys is to explore a concept called floors and ceilings. Meaning you have a ceiling and you have a floor, and you have a good range to work with. Meaning, okay, example would be to drawing daily. Okay, so drawing daily is my goal. Okay, how am I going to achieve that goal? Like this was too vague, right? Okay, what are the specifics? Okay, I'm going to draw daily for 6 minutes to 30 minutes or 6 minutes to an hour. See, 6 minutes to 60 minutes. So 6 minutes is going to be your ceiling. 60 minutes is going to be six minutes is going to be a floor, and 60 minutes is going to be a ceiling. So you have a lot of room to breathe, when it comes to achieving your goals. So some days you might be really tired and you have focused on so many things that you cannot draw today. So what you do is just hit the basic mark, which is draw for 6 minutes. Some days you're just like, you're focused, you want to zone in, you want to go all in on your stuff. So you draw for 60 minutes. So you achieved your big goal. So you want to leave some room for you to move around those goals. So start with a big, ambitious, audacious goal, and also cut that goal in half, or maybe even like 2/3, and have that as your floor. So you'll have room to walk around. So that's a big thing that I've learned. I have a big vision, I have a big goal, but I also at the same time have a smaller goal that I can achieve, that I know that I can achieve. So yep. So other things that you want to consider doing is making tiny changes. If you want to grow personally, right? If you want to be a better person, if you want to make habits stick, is to make tiny changes this year instead of trying to make big changes, because big changes usually works only when you have big accountability to back it up. If you're doing some sort of a change that has a lot of things at stake. Okay, let's say if you got diabetes, right? You got diabetes, and you're probably 100 kilos overweight. And if you don't lose your weight, you're going to probably die. So that's your accountability right there. And you'll probably lose that weight and your accountability is gone. Some people just eat their way back up to that weight they were previously on. So I would suggest make tiny changes this year, because those are the only things that stick. So make tiny changes, and also focus on process goals instead of product goals. Meaning, okay, let's say you want to you have a YouTube channel, you want to get to 1,000,000 subscribers. That's your goal, right? That is your product goal. That's like a performance goal. No, that's like a product goal, not a performance goal. That's like a product goal. It has you achieve something. But what you need to do is do things on a daily, consistent basis. And those are the things that will help you achieve that 1,000,000 subscribers. So stuff like, I need to upload every Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, something like that. Focus on process instead of the product. Focus on the journey instead of the end goal, so that the journey allows you to reach the end goal. The end goal won't allow you to reach the end goal. So goals are pretty much like this. How you need to think of goals, or how I usually think of goals, is like a steering wheel on a car, right? A goal is like a steering wheel on a car. It can only allow you to choose or point the direction in which you want to go. It won't move the car. What moves the car is the engine. And engine is the process. The process is the stuff that you do on a daily basis. So that's how you need to focus on goals. It's like in a ship, the goal is the rudder, but the sail of the ship is the process that will help you move the ship. So focus on, so goals give you direction. That's all they do. That's all they do. They do nothing else. Goals give you direction. What makes you move in the direction is you putting in the work on a daily basis. So schedule your goals. That is a big thing. So I have actually I have split the 2019 year into 2 blocks, which is 6 months and 6 months. I'm focusing on the first 6 months. And on the first 6 months, I'm just focusing on YouTube, my digital course, and my first episode of the web series that I want to do. And a couple of other things that I also want to focus on, which may or may not happen, is probably my sketch collection book. I think that'll definitely happen. Stickers, I'll definitely make more stickers. Sketchbooks, I'm launching that. So yeah, it'll happen. So yeah. So that's all the 3 things. I'm just focusing on 3 things for the next 6 months. See, it's as simple as that. I do something every single day to make progress on those 3 things. It's so simple. It's so simple. You do that every year. You choose 3 big projects that you want to get done this 6 months. You do that, and you do the same with the next 6 months. You will have completed 6 big important things this year. You do that for 2 years, that'll be 12. You do that for 3, that'll be 18. You do that for 4, I don't know the math here. So you do that for 5, right? You would have completed 30 big projects, 30 really substantial big projects. And boy, oh boy, you know what? Maybe you might have, not everything you touch is going to be successful. Let's say 10 of them fail. You would have completed 20 big projects, and that is a big freaking thing. So focusing on a couple of things, making tiny progress on a daily basis helps. And that's what I'm doing this year. So yeah, schedule your goals. What do you want to do? When do you want to do them? Just don't say I'm going to work out daily. Just tell people, or tell yourself when are you going to work out? What time are you going to? What are the things that you're going to do? Maybe you don't want to schedule too much, but you just want to make sure you have something. You don't fatigue yourself with making decisions. So yeah, and the next tip would be to focus on progress instead of perfection, meaning try to make progress on a daily basis. So the thing is, I have this trainer, right? And he's my coach. He's training me to get fit and get ripped and get muscular and stuff. And I've had this coach, the same coach before. His name is, by the way, Ralston D'Souza. He's on Instagram. You can go and check him out. He's a pretty good trainer. And the thing is, we were working before, but I didn't follow through on the daily basis. We fell apart, and the plan didn't work. And it's all because of my fault, because I was overeating and I was not sticking with the diet. But it worked this time, because what I did was I was just focusing on today, like a couple of important things that I need to do to reach my goal. There's always a couple of easy, simple things that you need to do on a daily basis to reach your goal. Like if you want to get fit and muscular and ripped and stuff, there are a few couple of things, like eat according to your body weight, like focus on your calories, focus on your macros, like eat right, and 2, work out, and 3, sleep. See, that's it, it's done. And people complicate this stuff, so what I'm doing is I'm just focusing on today. Okay, I need to hit my macros and calories today. I need to go to the gym today. I'm not thinking about tomorrow or day after tomorrow or how I'm going to do this 2 months from now. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm just focusing on what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a little progress. I may not make progress sometimes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make a progress tomorrow or today, something like that. So yeah, man. So those are the tips that I have. Like, set many goals, make tiny changes instead of big ones, select 3 to 5 things at most that you want to do this year, but also do write down other things that you want to do this year, but try to prioritize your stuff. If you're aiming at everything, you're going to hit nothing. Like, there's a famous Russian proverb. What is that? You chase 2 rabbits at the same time and you're going to catch neither of them. Yeah. So just focus on one thing at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. Focus on progress today instead of perfection. Try to make tiny little progress. Those things add and compound to big stuff. And schedule your goals. When do you want to do them? Block off time for those goals. And also, the final thing that I want to do is I don't set goals for the entire year. I don't do these 5-year goals and stuff, man. I just have a vision of what I want to do or where I want to be. Because 5-year goals, in the words of Gary Vaynerchuk and Tim Ferriss, is highly impractical in the current world. Because, things change, stuff change. You never know what are you going to do. You never know what's going to happen. So the best that you can do is... Wait a second. Oh yeah, that was my alarm clock. So the best that you can do is have a vision and try to make steps that you can get closer to your vision today or a month from now or 6 months from now. And that's all I'm doing right now. So I'm just setting goals for the next 6 months to a year. And more than that, I don't know what's going to happen in 2020 or 2021. I have a vision of what I want to happen. I have stuff like, okay, I want to get good at drawing. I want to make more films. I want to make more YouTube videos. I want to help more people. I want to get better myself. I want to sort some stuff out in my own life, stuff like that. So just try. That's all I want to say this year. I made a comic yesterday, right? I made this comic called New Year's Resolution. So you need to go read that comic. And the point of that comic was like, New Year's is just another day. But most people took it some people took it in a very serious note, and they felt very sad about it, and told them that New Year's is just another day if you keep doing the same thing as the previous year. So if you do something new, then every day is going to be a new day, a new year for you. So that is the point that I was trying to say with that comic. So if you're trying to make changes, just go ahead and try to make changes, tiny changes, little changes here and there. Those things are going to stick. Like, you keep trying and don't be afraid of failure. Allow yourself to fail. So those are the things that I want to, give away on this goals podcast, goals thingy. Okay, one thing I want to add to this thing. I've completed shooting the podcast. This is going to be the extra bit right here. Is one thing. I was just talking to my intern Varun, my intern / friend Varun, and I asked him whether he has set any goals for this year, and he told me that he didn't, and he'd like to go with the flow. And one of the main reasons he doesn't set goals is probably because he sets something and he's not able to commit. He's not able to do those things, and he feels guilty for not doing those things. I have a very interesting perspective on it. Am I right, Varun? Yeah? So you're not setting goals because you're feeling guilty?
I might feel guilty
because you're not doing them?
I might, if I don't do it on time, I don't excuse myself from doing something,
Okay.
I don't want to excuse myself, and I feel really bad that why didn't I even do it? I will feel like, why am I even living? So
Okay.
I'll start feeling bad about it, and I will come to a place where I don't even want to do it because I feel really bad about it.
Okay. So the thing is, I've been where he was before, but that is a problem with what he's doing right now. So here's the problem. You set some goals and you try to achieve them, and for some reason you're not able to achieve them or you're not able to do them, then you feel guilty about setting goals. So am I right on my sentence? Yeah. So he's nodding his head. Right. So the problem with that, number one, right? You don't have a clear. I hate this phenomenon, to be very honest. Because one, you don't know where you're going, and everybody's like that. Everybody's uncertain about the future. They don't know where they're going, and what goals give you is sort of a direction. And people don't set goals because they're not able to achieve them. And what you're doing is you're keeping yourself willfully blind. This is a key word here. You're keeping yourself blind in the dark because you don't want to face the actual reality of failure when it comes to the process of achieving the things that you want. So what happens is that right now you're willfully blind. You don't feel failure, but you don't feel success as well. So you're in the land of limbo. You're not anywhere. And what happens is right now is like, okay, you'll feel good for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 1 year, but those things are going to catch up on you. Like at the end of 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, it's going to catch up on you real bad. And oh boy, you don't want that. You don't want that to happen. So that's what I was talking about in the, before, when it comes to tips on achieving goals. Start with small things. You need a direction in your life. You need something to aim at, because those things are important. And part of the process that most people don't realize is you need to have the guts to face a failure in the process of achieving the goal. So this is so damn important. Don't keep yourself blind to failures. Failure is going to be part of that thing. This may sound like a freaking motivational talk, but it's not, man. Let me tell you, I didn't set goals last year. I did not. Because I was of the mindset what the hell, why the hell am I setting goals, right? Some people like to be vague. I'm not saying that's not a strategy. Everybody has their own strategies. What I do is, even I don't set goals. What I do is I set projects instead of goals. Goals feel like a target. So what I do is I do projects. So when I say projects, what people they suddenly go into the mindset where they can allow a little bit of failure to happen. Goals, it feels like a hit or miss, right? Goals feel like some sort of okay, I threw my dart, you either hit the center or you don't. But projects have a good thing, the whole process can be starts and finishes, and you can have failures in the mid process, and you'll know at the end of it whether you have completed a project or not completed a project. So one of the big tips would be to start projects instead of goals. Focus on projects. Tim Ferriss says that he only focuses on 6 months projects and 2 weeks experiments, and that's a really good analogy. But don't keep yourself willfully blind. Don't do that. That is the worst place to live in. And I've seen people who are like, oh, I'm not gonna set New Year's resolution this year because I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do. What's the point? Dude, you need to work it off. You need to work on it. You need to face the fact that you're gonna feel really bad during the process of achieving the things that you want. But allow yourself to fail. So yeah, man, I would, and one of the ways you can do that is by rephrasing your goals into projects. So probably you might want to go and ask people, oh, what other projects are you starting this year? What projects are you going to work on? So yeah, that's a big thing. But don't keep yourself willfully blind. Do not do that. That's so bad. And you're going to wake up in 20 years and look at yourself like, damn, what have I done? What have I done to myself? So that's and when you're at that spot, you cannot make any changes, man. You're done. You're out. Life has knocked you down. The round is over. The match is over. The game is over. You're to clear the arena. That's it. try to set some goals, and don't be like, oh, I'm not going to set some goals this year because usually my goals never come true. Your goals never come true probably because you're not working for them, sweetheart. So try to set some goals. Goals give you direction. You're going to probably fail at them for the next 5 years. Who knows? Next 10 years. Who knows? But all you need is one big win. That's all I keep telling myself. All you need is one win, buddy. Just one win. Hey, who cares? One win. So don't set goals. No, is that the right phrase? I think so. Yeah. So try to set some goals. And don't, because goals give you direction. They give you purpose and meaning in life, and that's what goals are for. It has you going. It has you going on tough times. It has you going on the good times, because you need some goals. Set some goals. Don't have to set big goals. Just set some goals. Focus on them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening or watching. I will see you guys on the next podcast too. And have a good year. Happy 2019. God, I didn't wish you guys at the start of this podcast. Happy New Year. Happy 2019. Have an awesome one. May your dreams come true. Bye-bye.